At the beginning of my career as a process engineer, I was heavily involved on both the environmental and production side of energy generation, both renewable and fossil fuels. With this background, there are very few aspects of the energy industry that we did not study. With this foundation, we studied all the environmental concerns of climate, starting with acid rain, global cooling, global warming, and now climate change. This was before the word ecology was commonly used in our vocabulary. I consider myself one of the biggest environmentalists you will ever find, with all these trends very concerning and alarming. But as hard as we looked, we never found any climate concerns directly connected to anthropologic or man-made causes. That connection still has never been established or proven to this day. In research, there's a saying, coincidence does not prove causation. Being the environmentalist that I am, I throw very little away. I either fix, repair, recycle, or save practically everything and make every effort not to waste or abuse any natural resources. I too want the world as clean as possible. With all my care and concerns for our environment, the one which I have still the most concerned is not global warming, water or air pollution, or even nuclear waste. By far, the greatest environmental concern in the world today is plastic. About 5% of all the world's oil production is converted into plastic, and it accumulates continually because it does not break down, unlike almost everything else in our modern society. Plastic is cheap, durable, and strong, with practically everything used around us having some plastic in it. Packaging, bottles, clothing, containers, furniture, automobiles, rope, nets, toys, many building materials all have a high percentage of plastic in them. The plastic is made at high temperatures and breaks down only by reversing that heat of formation, in other words, by burning it. If it is not burnt, it lasts for centuries. Nature breaks it down into smaller and smaller particles to the point where it is consumed by fish and birds, who mistake it for food. It clogs their digestive system, which kills them, who, in turn, are eaten by scavengers, which also clogs their system in an almost endless cycle. Discarded plastic is found almost in every vacant lot and field. It blows from landfills as well as the litter on the streets and roads. This plastic is washed into our streams and rivers, which drains into our oceans. Plastic litters all the beaches of the world. Even the most remote, uninhabited islands in the four corners of the world's oceans are littered with plastic. The world's ocean rotate like a drain in a bathtub, causing debris to accumulate in this vortex. This is a floating island of plastic the size of Texas in the middle of the Pacific, about 10 feet thick. There's about 500 cubic miles of plastic floating there. Similar items exist in the vortex of other world oceans. These plastic islands will continue to grow and remain there for centuries if something isn't done to reduce the plastic production or recycle it by burning it or reusing it. The culprit of this environmental disaster is everyone who uses plastic. Today it is almost impossible to do anything without plastic somehow involved. The only thing that we don't use plastic for is for our food, but it is actually accidentally consumed by most animals who mistake it for their food. Part of the solution to this disaster is on the supply side. Its production must be restricted or reformulated into a biodegradable product. But that compromises the most desirable feature of plastic, its durability. On the demand side, the solution is a bounty that would make it desirable to collect for recycling, like aluminum cans. Regardless, we are all part of the problem that will drown the planet in plastic eventually. It is consistently being manufactured with very little of it handled properly in order to eliminate this ecological disaster, and it will continue unless we all do our part. This is Keith Kube wishing you the best in making the world a better place.